All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another NBA playoff video. In this video, we're going to talk about three games from last night: the Orlando Magic versus the Detroit Pistons, the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Toronto Raptors, and the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Houston Rockets. We're going to break down some of the games. We're going to break down some of the performances. We're going to break down what I like, what I didn't like from these games and these teams, and we're going to talk about maybe what is next in the series for these teams. So if you like what I say, like the video. If you have your own opinions, comment it down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. So yeah, let's jump right into this. And again, I start with a complaint for the NBA. It feels like I'm doing that a lot lately. I did it at the beginning of last video. I did it at the end of last video as well. But again, NBA, why do we have three games on at the same time? Why are we doing this? Or should I say, why do we have two games on at the same time? And this one was more egregious because the guys on top of your screen, top left and top right, Cade Cunningham and Paolo Banchero, both had like masterpiece games. And if you didn't know that game was on, you just missed it. And I was busy watching the Cavs and Raptors game because it was pretty close and it was a very interesting game. But so was this Detroit Pistons and Magic game, and you had to pick one or the other. And I can't tell the future, so I didn't know Paulo and Cade were both gonna have like 40. So I missed it, so I had to watch the highlights. So I'm pleading again. NBA, Mr. Adam Silver. I know you don't want to start games at 11 o'clock Eastern time, but can we not? Can we not like, and especially two different networks? If we're gonna do this, just let the network have all three games and let them broadcast all three games, all both games. Like, because I only have so many monitors, I have so many things I can watch the games on. Like, it's ridiculous at this point, and I missed this Paulo and Cade duel that they had. I watched it in highlights, and I don't think it did justice at all. But for context, Paulo Banchero, 45 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals for the Orlando Magic, and then Cade Cunningham, 45 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Both did not shoot the ball particularly well percentages wise, and both turned the ball over a lot. But that is neither here nor there. It was entertaining to see them both go at it. Two former number one picks going at it, trying to will their teams to wins, especially in Paulo's case, to will his team to a first round victory and a second round appearance in the playoffs. It did not happen. The Detroit Pistons won this game 116 to the Orlando Magic's 109. Orlando still leads the series 3-2, but Detroit heading back to Orlando to try to make this series 3-3 and then bring it back home once again to Detroit for game 7 in an attempt to win. In an attempt to win and advance in the series and not having an embarrassing defeat to an 8 seed when you're the 1 seed. What I saw from this game that I really liked and what was kind of obvious to me was both teams are really, I don't want to say only comfortable at home, but the crowds in both of these arenas in both of these cities are incredible. Um, both of them provide something that these teams, these guys on the floor really need. The energy, the chanting, all the stuff they bring when you have home court um, is really important for both these teams. And for the Orlando Magic in this loss, it was just about the intensity of the game. You're getting the ball to your main guy who was hot all night in Paulo, but like for what it's worth, I need Jalen Suggs to do a little bit more. I need Desmond Bain to do just a little bit more as well. He had 18. He was 4-10 from three. Not great. The defense by the Pistons was really great. Also on the other end, the Orlando Magic's defense on the Pistons was really great. Um, Jamal Cain started this game for the Magic. Has that been happening? Did that? Oh, that's right, because Franz didn't play this game. Oh, right. I was like, wait, why is Jamal Cain start? That's right, Franz didn't play this game. Oh my God, yeah. And obviously, the most obvious thing is they're missing Franz right now. Um, and we'll see if Franz is back for game. Would that be game 6 in Orlando? I don't think, for what it's worth, the Orlando Magic didn't miss Franz too much. I mean, they only lost by what is that like 9, 9? Yeah, they only lost by 9, I think. So for what it's worth, this game for the Orlando Magic wasn't terrible. It wasn't embarrassing. The energy that the Orlando Magic have since they started the play-in and then all the way what could possibly be to game seven of the playoffs has been downright incredible. And again, their head coach is on the hot seat, and it was forecasted that he would be fired, and what would have been a shorter series that was predicted in this series right after that. And he's sort of coaching his life off. He's coaching for his job, and the stuff that came out before the playoffs that Paulo and the Orlando Magic head coach Jamal Mosley didn't get along. That all this stuff is going down. I'm not saying this series has kind of fixed that for him and kind of like um, patched things together, but like when you're in these series together and it's win or go home, or it's lose or go to the next round, it does help a little bit. And I'm not saying Jamal Mosley should keep his job. I think he still did a horrible job in the regular season. They were injured a little bit as well, but this has been a really impressive coaching clinic by um, Jamal Mosley of the Orlando Magic, and he's going up against a really good coach in JB Bickerstaff and in this young, hungry Pistons team who has kind of fumbled what they had. Obviously, they've won their home game, so this was a very critical game to win. Obviously, win or go home for them, but win the home game. If you lose in Orlando, I believe it's probably on Friday. Yeah, because they're switching locations. It'll probably be on Friday. Um, it is what it is. Is it disappointing? Yes. Is it not what you wanted? Yes. But games like this is why you keep fighting and why you still think you are the best team in the conference because you are, because you were the number one seed. You're here for a reason. Um, for the Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham 45, Jalen Duren 12 points, 9 rebounds, basically what he's done all series. Duncan Robinson 12 points, Tobias Harris 23 points. This is what I'm talking about. This wasn't a quiet 23 for Tobias Harris. This was actually a very impactful 23. Um, really boosted Cade and helped Cade a little bit. Um, Asor Thompson 6 points, and this is going to be a back and forth series. I hope this goes seven. I really do. Um, this has just been something I didn't expect. I don't want to say that I thought the Pistons would roll over the Magic, but I was so down on the Magic starting this playoff run because I was so upset that like I actually put money on them that they would win, was it 55, 60 plus games, and then they didn't. And they've just turned their whole, I won't say philosophy, but the whole mindset around in this series. And it's striking to see because in some universe, this Orlando Magic team could have been the number one seed and the Pistons could have been like two or three, and they might not even be playing each other right now. But we're in this universe where two really good Eastern Conference teams are going at it in a 1-8 matchup, and the Pistons, for what it's worth, are young and they're not taking care of business, and they need to take care of business. And they need to take care of business in this next game, and then one more after that. And then what happens in game seven happens in game seven, possibly, hopefully. But yeah, so Detroit Pistons win this game 116, Orlando Magic 109. That was the first game of the night. We move on to Cavaliers versus Raptors. I do want to preface this game with Brandon Ingram only playing 11 minutes. He did get injured very early on in this game. Apparently a heel injury of some variety. So Brandon Ingram will not be talked a lot about in this game. Um, Neither here nor there. Brandon Ingram wasn't helping the team last game, so what's the difference in him not being there? The difference is the Raptors lose by 5 points. Would Brandon Ingram have padded that a little bit, maybe with 10, and maybe you win this game? Perhaps. The Cleveland Cavaliers did win this 125 to the Raptors 120. Um, and in this game, I was saying all series, I was saying this all this whole series to Coach Kenny Atkinson of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why is Dean Wade starting? What is he doing? He hasn't done anything great all series. Get him out of there. And it's like I put it into the universe and it came down and it went into Kenny Atkinson's brain and he was like, I have an idea. Let's start somebody else. Uh, the Cleveland Cavaliers starting lineup consists of the regular guys, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and then Max Strus is here. And Max Strus is very impactful for like the first half of this game. He didn't shoot the ball great. He had 8 points and he was 2 of 4. But for what it's worth and what he brings, Max Strus is a very well seasoned player at this point. He was on a lot of interesting Heat teams a couple years ago. He has the experience. He knows what to do. He only had he only had 2 assists and 4 rebounds, but there was so much impactful stuff that he did in this game. Um, the word isn't game management. It's just presence. Like, no, okay, I'm going for a layup. Let me dump this down to Jared Allen. Let me dump this down to Evan Mobley. Let me swing the ball one more time. I'm not saying Dean Wade doesn't do that, but is Dean Wade was just they were just they didn't care about Dean Wade. The Raptors just didn't care about Dean Wade at some point. So you bring in a guy like Max Strus who knows, maybe he heats up a little bit. You know, that's the thought process. You try to get in the Raptors' head. Max Strus did not heat up, but he did all the right things, and that's what this team needs. Just do the right things, and the right things and the wrong things are the difference between 2 turnovers, 3 turnovers, a missed shot here, a ball going out of bounds here or there, off your finger, off your foot, whatever the case may be. And it's the difference in those 5 points that the Cavaliers won this game in. And this wasn't a particularly great game from Donovan Mitchell, 19 points, 7 of 17 from three. This was a pretty average game for James Harden in the playoffs, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 turnovers, not great. Um, and Evan Mobley this game was absolutely incredible. He was everything he was supposed to be coming into the draft many years ago at this point. He was a game he's a playoff game alterer in good ways and in bad ways. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. Let's see, 1 steal, 3 blocks. But the big thing for Evan Mobley, and I was saying this all year. I think I said this a little bit last year too. I've really liked the way his three ball has come around. He's less shy about taking it. And in this game, he was 3 for 3. And now I understand in the modern NBA, 3 for 3 isn't a big deal. But for Evan Mobley, it's a pretty big deal. In a playoff game like this, in an attempt to try to go up 3-2 in this series, he hit some mega threes. Um, and he was playing a lot of five this game, a lot of center position, and he looked really confident out there. And I don't want to say I'm a big Evan Mobley fan, but I like guys like Evan Mobley. You know, I like his archetype. I like his build. You know, um, he's just a player I would like to build around. I know he gets a lot of ish sometimes about what he does and how impactful he is on the offensive end, especially defensively, is never been in question. But offensively, this feels like an awakening for Evan Mobley a little bit. I'm not saying he's going to consistently hit 3 out of 3 threes. He's probably going to have a bad game at some point in these playoffs, let's be honest. But this was one you get a gold star from me. Um, the other front court mate for Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, only 9 points, 3 rebounds, very ineffective this game. Getting beat by when Jared Allen can't rebound, everything goes wrong for him. And this Raptors team just doesn't have like 1 or 2 people rebounding. Everybody rebounds on this Raptors team, so it's kind of hard for him to box out like the whole team and get a rebound. Not a great game for him. But off the bench for the Cavs, Dennis Schroeder, 19 points. Now, where was I? I got interrupted by something. I got a notification on my phone that I needed to attend to. Was I talking about? I was talking about Dennis Schroeder, I think, right? 19 points for Dennis Schroeder. Um, one of the better playoff games for any Cavalier in this run so far. I mean, Jalen Tyson hasn't really done anything. Sam Merrill has hit a couple threes, 2 of 2 this game. I keep begging, man. I'm gonna put it into the universe again, and maybe Kenny Atkinson listens to me again. You need to get some of these other guys in this rotation, man. I understand, like in the playoffs, you need to run it pretty tight, and this wasn't a bad playoff game necessarily for the bench, but I'd like to see some Naquan Tomlin. I'd like to see some more Keon Ellis. I understand that Craig Porter and Tyrese Proctor aren't playing. They're very young, and you don't want to throw them out there because this is a very intense Raptors team. That's one of my notes here. Applying a pressure all game, and they had a good lead in the third quarter. The Raptors did, and it looked like they might be able to do something. And if you throw those young guys out there, it might have been even worse. um, before we get to the Raptors, let's get to the rest of my notes here. Um, what happened in the second half, especially because it was just back and forth the first half. There weren't really any notes except the Brandon Ingram one where he got injured. Um, Donovan Mitchell went off in like the end of the second quarter, but heading into the third, um, Raptors had a pretty nice lead, and then they started to play some really sloppy basketball, and you could tell their coach Darko Rajakovic was not happy with that. And there really wasn't a solve for that. I mean, they had how many? They had 14 turnovers as a team. Um, to the Cavaliers' 14 turnovers as a team. But when they turned the ball over, when the Raptors turned the ball over, um, it was not. It was not. My phone is getting blown up. Jeez. Um, for the when the Raptors coughed it up, it was not. It was at the most inconvenient times possible, probably. And that's what led to this very seasoned, again, Cavaliers team being able to get the lead and go out there and rally back in the fourth. And when the Raptors gave up that lead, that really bit them in the butt because it was not great. And then it came down to the last couple shots, and then Scotty Barnes had to shoot a three, and he was 0 of 3 from three. So, and he took a lot of them with confidence, and two of them were wide open, I think. And then the one that he took, the last one he took, was sort of wide open, I guess. Like maybe like there was a closeout happening, but like Scotty's so tall, he probably didn't see it. But like it just wasn't a great last shot. And I said this about another team. Oh, I said it about the Pistons and Karis LeVert, where I was like, Karis LeVert taking a last shot 3-pointer, like, get it to somebody else. And I'll give the Raptors credit. Scotty Barnes is your best player. You give him the ball, but maybe not right there. Maybe get him downhill, going to the basket. Let him get put the ball in the basket and get an and one, and there's your 3 points. Didn't really need the 3 pointers right there. For the rest of the Raptors, RJ Barrett, amazing game. RJ Barrett just I'll tell you at times in the last like 3 years, I forgot RJ Barrett was a basketball player. And he used to be on the New York Knicks. He used to be very popular amongst Knicks fans, as the young player, and sort of disappeared into irrelevance for a couple years when this Raptors team was bad, and now has reemerged in the playoffs with 25 points, 12 rebounds, um, 2 of 5 from three, 9 of 19 from field goal. Not particularly great, but he also got in a little scuffle with James Harden in this game. Sure, I love a little scuffle. Scotty Barnes, 17 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, almost a triple double, 4 turnovers. Jacoby Walters, 14 points, 9 rebounds. Or Jakob Pertl, 9 rebounds, 14 points. And then Jacoby Walters, 20 points, 3 rebounds. Um, Sandro, 10 points. Colin Murray Boyles, 8. Not very effective this game. It's his first time in the playoffs. He's a second-year player. I'm gonna give him some grace. And then Jamal Shed, 18 points, 4 of 10 from three. Just didn't stop shooting. Eventually, it went in. And yeah, that's it. Again, the Cavaliers won this game 125 to the Toronto Raptors 120. And now we move on to the last game. Should I say the most critical one? Now, all these are pretty critical. The one that I watched the most intensely because the Lakers are up 3-2, or what was 3-1 on the Houston Rockets. And the Houston Rockets, they got one. They got away with one in LA. 99-93 was your final score for both teams. Rockets win. The biggest note for this game, and this is going to be a running theme, so I'm just going to say it right here at the top. Well, two things. No Kevin Durant for this game either for the Rockets. Austin Reeves returns for the Lakers. LeBron looking 41, looking dead on his feet. Was not a great game overall in the fourth quarter, though. LeBron really took over and tried to get this team to a win and tried to get that couple extra days of rest that he obviously needed in this game. They did not get it, however. This was a pretty standard performance for everybody on the Lakers. I mean, you're kind of upset with Austin Reeves, even though he did have 22. They really did pick on him on defense. The Rockets did, and for what Austin Reeves brings, he does not bring defense. And this Lakers team was really good defensively when he was not here. And I'm not saying they should have rested him a little bit more, or not have him come back because you obviously needed the 22 points to get even anywhere close to being this Rockets team this game, especially now that you know that LeBron's sort of dead on his feet and he can't carry the load like he used to. Um, this was not a great performance for Austin Reeves defensively. He got picked on so much, and I don't even remember if he was on the. He was on the court at the end of this game because he took a three trying to win the game. But man, oh man, I felt bad because this Lakers team felt really energized when he wasn't out there. Really energized defensively. The defense led to offense. Um, and that just didn't happen this game. It happened in moments, but it didn't happen in like the waves it happened in the first couple games of this series, especially when Austin Reeves was out there, obviously. Um, moving on. Oh my god, I thought my recording software stopped. Jeez, that scared me. I looked down. I was, oh my god, it stopped. First half, pretty back and forth. Lakers looked a little sluggish defensively. Um, they looked a little sluggish, but defensively in the first half, it wasn't bad. It was as it dragged on that the defense sort of waned a little bit. Starting the second half, even though DeAndre Ayton ended this game with 17 rebounds and 18 points, he needs to like wipe his hands or something, dude. He needs to like wipe his hands on his jerseys, his shorts. Butterfingers. Butterfingers. Awful. There were like 3 or 4 times where he caught the ball and it fell out of his hands, or it slipped out of his hands. It went out of bounds. He coughed it up. Awful. Awful. I always, I have a mini sort of spot for DeAndre Ayton because like when he was coming out of Arizona, I really liked him. He was really really talented. And then his whole NBA career after Phoenix has been a disaster. And these are the games I'm like, Aiden, stop it. Just wipe your hands, dude. You got butterfingers. Stop. You stop, please. Um, my other note here for the Rockets, especially, this is during the game, was Rockets need to clean it up or to end this game well. Um, and that's exactly what they did. And I'm happy I put that note in there. Um, through the course of the second half, uh, there was an unexpected hero, especially from long range for the Rockets. Um, Ahmed Thompson, 2 of 5 from three, and hit two desperately needed corner threes. He ended the game with 15 points. I don't care about the other points. I care about those two 3 pointers. Because man, oh man, was I so happy for Ahmed when he hit those? Because he hasn't been in those all year. He hit two of them in the biggest moments when they needed him the most. Congrats to Ahmed, because this was a average, below average game from him. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 3 turnovers. Uh, congrats on the 4 steals and the 2 threes made. That's all we really needed from Ahmed. um, to go through the rest of the Rockets here. 22 points for Jabari Smith Jr. Much needed. He was very good this game. Shout out to him. Tari Eason 18. Alperen Sengun 14 points. 8 assists. 9 rebounds. 5 turnovers. Not great. Reed Shepard. Oh my God. Let me talk about Reed Shepard here. I'm going to get ahead of my notes here. But Reed Shepard defensively, in the fourth quarter especially, had a steal on LeBron. Oh my God. And he went up and he broke away and he went up and dunked it. The shortest guy on the court just stole the ball and then ran down the floor and dunked it. Amazing. Um, hit some really timely shots. The game management wasn't great from him, but he's never been known as a game manager, so I wasn't expecting him to manage the game well. Only had 1 turnover though, 6 assists. And then was this 2 of 7 from three, 5 of 12 from field goal, whatever. This game was won by the starters for the Rockets. Dorian Finney-Smith 8 points, Josh Okogie 7, Aaron Holiday 5. He hit 1 3 that they really needed, but outside of that, that was it for Aaron Holiday. And then we get back to my notes here. Um, the Lakers were rallying back on the back of LeBron, obviously, like I said at the top, and then Ayton had some fantastic rebounding at the end of this game. He got like 5 or 4 of his 17 boards that he ended with in that fourth quarter alone, in that stretch that they had. Um, Defensively, was really great, and then offensively they went a 7-0 run to make this really tight. The Lakers did, and I put in my notes here because I was ready for it. A Houston meltdown again for like the third time in the series. They were about to have a meltdown, but they did not. The Reed Shepard stuff happened. The Aaron Holiday three went in, um, and then the Rockets had a call challenge. I believe it was an out of bounds call or something. Oh no, it was the what is it called? The offensive foul on Tari Eason. They reversed that. Houston Rockets got the ball back. Huge call reversal there that changed the game. And then as we head into the last couple minutes, 2 3 minutes of this game, This is when the LeBron dead on his legs started happening. He did not shoot the ball great this whole game. 9 of 20 from field goal, 0 of 6 from three. 25 points though, 7 to 10 from free throw. He was just dead on his legs. You could tell the guy's 41 years old. He he shouldn't be having to carry the team like this. And it's nobody's fault. Everybody just got injured at the wrong time, and he's just here. And it was a hard fought effort. 25. I'll give LeBron some credit there. Um, he tried. I feel like you might look back on this game with hope that, like, okay, at least Austin Reeves got his legs under him. LeBron probably won't have to do as much as he did this game. We do have to head to Houston though, and the Lakers. I want to say the Lakers have only gotten lucky in Houston, but the Lakers have only gotten lucky in Houston. It's an overtime game, a crumble by the Houston Rockets. You sort of tread carefully, because you could be right back here in LA playing a game seven. It's very possible. It's very possible. Um, and there's no Luca ain't coming back. He ain't coming back this series. He ain't coming back. Um, and you would really want to try to wrap this series up and try to get on with it. Because LeBron's 41 and you want him to be as well rested as he can for the next series. If this series drags on, um, it's not, regardless of what OKC's waiting for these guys. Whoever wins this series, but especially for the Lakers. If you think this young Rockets team is hard to guard at times, and you really have to lock in defensively to beat them, if the Lakers have to play a 7 game series, then go play the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's not gonna be great, Lakers fans. It's not gonna be great. Um, so yeah, that's it. 3 games. Just wanted to put this out, so I don't have to talk about so many games on Friday. Or my pardon me. Yeah, so many because today's Thursday. Yeah, I'll have to talk about so many games tomorrow. And yeah, you guys will probably get a video this weekend. I have to. I'm gonna record it within the next 2 days for this weekend. I have to wait and see if any of the news changes with that topic, because it's in flux right now. So we'll see what happens with that. Keep your eye out for a video tomorrow about the NBA playoffs, and I'll give you a little hint for this weekend's video. It's a WNBA video. So yeah, you guys will get a WNBA video this weekend. Definitely a lot of WNBA stuff next week, since the season is starting on Friday next week, which is be amazing. Also, hopefully, I want to say hopefully, I do hope that some of these series go seven. But if they didn't, it would be great because um, we don't have to talk about a lot of games on Monday, hopefully, because hopefully there might be some game sevens on Sunday. Hopefully, some series end on Friday, Saturday, whatever. Try to lessen my workload a little bit because my voice has been going a little bit. I started this video and I had to pause a couple of times because I had to cough and I had something in my throat. But enough of my rambling. Thank you for watching. The outro should be playing right now. Check out the video on the left. Check out the playlist on the right. If you click my little icon right in the middle, a little subscribe button will pop up. You can hit that and subscribe and follow along for more NBA playoff stuff, more WNBA regular season stuff, and all basketball stuff that's going on in the orbit, in the stratosphere of basketball. Like, comment, subscribe as well, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.